So I'm showing you here a simulation of two dipoles in CST Microwave Studio. The idea here is to talk a little bit about the use of CST Microwave Studio. Could be FECO, could be HFSS. The principle is more or less the same. And in order to address the problem of rectennas or instead of rectennas, RFID systems, where we have near field communication between two antennas. The first thing that several people ask from time to time is they know that RFID and rectennas, they are not connected to 50 ohm systems like normal antennas. Inside CST Microwave Studio, we don't care about that. And I think the same applies for other software. We just use the two antennas here with normal 50 ohm ports. Why is that? Because you have to think in terms of a VNA. A VNA is all the time 50 ohm. Regardless, it measures any kind of impedance that you connect to it. So you're just using the reference impedance here to get an idea of the impedance of your antennas. So forget about having here the same impedance that the conjugate impedance of your chip. This is not necessary at this point. So here we make the simulation, the 3D simulation of the antennas. As I said, just two antennas. I just designed here two antennas. I simulated them from DC to 1 gigahertz. Just for the sake of showing you. It doesn't matter, it's not important if the antennas are matched or not matched. Here you can see the matching. You see they are pretty badly matched. As I said, it doesn't make any sense because they are not supposed to be connected to 50 ohms. This is pretty easy. You just design two antennas, connect them to 50 ohm. The tricky part, you have to pay attention here, is when you go to Design Studio. Here you have to pay attention because Design Studio, you have the 3D simulation represented by this small box here. You see this small box has two ports, 1 and 2, which correspond to these two ports here inside Microwave Studio. So here, pay attention that we have the one port has two terminals, but whenever you go to Design Studio, you have just one terminal here. One terminal here means two terminals in Microwave Studio. So the first question that is a little bit tricky to find in the help, it's a little bit tricky to think about it. Where is the other terminal of this port number 1 here? The other terminal is the ground. This thing here is the port number 1, and the return is going through the ground. So the first thing you have to pay attention in Design Studio is the ground. If you attach another ground here, the grounds, they are not connected as it's usual in electronics, right? This is the first thing. So what the circuit here means is we have a diode, a capacitor, and a load, a resistor, and it's connected to the other terminal of port number 1. So what I'm doing here is I'm just trying to simulate a signal exciting port number 2 here, right? The generator here in port number 2. What we have here is the port number 1 is excited, and there is a transmission through the air between 1 and 2, which is described by the S-parameter matrix, which was just computed by Microwave Studio. And then we have this circuit simulator here, which is a diode, a plain diode. As I said, I'm just trying to show you nobody's going to use this simple diode for 1 gigahertz. And then we have the load here. Here you have to pay attention. The first thing you have to ask yourself is, how can you measure, how can you numerically address this problem here? You have to use something called the transient simulation, because the diode is nonlinear. It would be even better if you had a simulation using the harmonic balance. For that matters, it's better if you use ADS, it's better if you use Cooks or any other software. But just for the sake of simplicity here, I'm showing how to use the transient solver of Microwave Studio, which is more or less what SPICE does. More or less is the same. So here we have a diode, a capacitor, and a load. And as I said, this ground here means that the other wire is connected to the other terminal of the antenna at port number 1. The tricky part here is you have to ask Design Studio to use a transient task. The transient task says it needs the following. You need to tell what kind of excitation you are using on port number 1. For that, you just click here. You just go here on tasks, and as you can see here, you have defined signal, and I just typed in from DC to 1 gigahertz and amplitude 1. This is something that you can think about later. What's the meaning of it? You can go through the help files and you can teach yourself. What's the meaning of voltage? It's a normal voltage source. It's a normal current source. And signal here means the usual 50 ohm system that we are. This is the ordinary option in microwave and RF instrumentation. Once you've done that, you said that this is excited by a Gaussian pulse, right? And there's a transmission from this side. And once it's done, the transient task here, you just go here, new task, and select the transient, right? And when I click here, I have increased the T maximum to 100. You are going to see why. Pretty much, you don't need to do anything more. And the last thing I just added here is the probe. The probe is this thing here, is just telling you what's the frequency domain and time domain response of your wave on your rectangle, on your chip, on the receiver side of your system. For that, you just need to select any wire, and you just ask to a probe here. Now I have a P2 here and P1 here, and I just click on update, and here you can see port number 2. This is the time domain, and port 1, this is the time domain. We can see also the voltage. We can see also the currents. We can see the spectral domain, and you can take a look at how it works. This is not a very precise simulation. As I said, it would be much better if you could use an harmonic balance simulator inside ADS or inside Cooks, for instance. I don't have ADS here, but what would be the idea of using doing the simulation inside ADS? If you have your antenna, your passive system simulated inside FICO, inside CST, inside HFSS, using ADS, would be exporting, right? Exporting this data as a touchstone block. The touchstone block is going to be imported inside ADS, and then you can run your simulation pretty much using the usual harmonic balance set up inside ADS. Thank you.